Starts off with that African-inspired rhythm.
Yeah.
And then it goes into like a solid like 4 on the floor kind of thing. You'll hear it just now, it's sick.
One easy feeling, which turns to dread, as we face a foreign squad, a hail of bullets, a blinding pain, my powerful
It's like throwing in the deep end and stuff. Hey, come up with something. The first practice we were just jamming some stuff and we recorded it and sent it off, and then when we came into the next practice we said like, okay, that's done, let's throw that away and start again.
We were still trying to get used to playing with one another. You never really know what's going to come out, and like we haven't kept any of that, to be honest.
It's slightly awkward. It was like a first date kind of vibe.
Yeah, you don't know where the boundaries are. You don't know how much you should push, how much you should show of yourself, because you still want to kind of, you know, let them find you naturally.
Ameer had some ideas which he brought into the practice room, which we worked on for the first track. There was an unsureness about the first one, yeah. It sounded a bit like Natalie's band and, you know, maybe a bit of grungy, a bit of Deftonesy vibe. The next time we were going to practice, and I was doing vocal warm-ups, and I was like, yeah, and I've gotten into doing chants now because it's just something to do, you know.
Ian came to the band practice with this. It's a voice note. No, he recording himself.
Then I just going, why-oh, 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 and I thought, hey, that's quite a cool thing. And I thought, oh, God, I wish I could just take this to a band and then, like, make a song out of it. And I just don't have that outlet, you know, because I was in a metal band. I was driving and I thought, hold on a second, I'm doing this thing with art.
We started off with an African rhythm that Ian sent me via Messenger.
And then he immediately said back, oh, let's try it, sounds cool. Sounds ridiculous. Okay, cool. Every time we just try it out.
Inspired by African Child by Russell Brand. Getting to the creek.
Then we banged that around and we came up with the different riffs and the different flows and whatnot.
Literally like made the song up from like a vocal chant basically. Which is pretty cool.
Very cool.
That's it.
I'm Art. George asked me to put a team together for a coalition project. From back in the day, I always knew that I wanted to play with Paul, Opie and Ian Watson, which were heroes of mine from when I was a kid. You know, they are quite instrumental with their band Lithium.
I'm Ian Watson. Yeah, when we came out in '94 in Lithium, there was really a very small scene. It was mostly cover bands before grunge came along. And
Real Cape Town sound, you know?
Yeah, it was this Cape Town happy sound actually, and we didn't really fit in. We were all at an age where it made sense to us. It wasn't like we actually put grunge on. Grunge fitted where we were at mentally. So we resonated with bands like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana. That was a scene. It wasn't a band. It was a mental thing. It was like, the world is fucked. I'm not interested in towing the line. We really didn't believe that we had what it takes to generate music and to be successful on a worldwide stage. We were almost told, you're not good enough. And Lithium and bands of that time was the first time that South African musicians were actually saying, I'm not shit. You know what I mean? And I think that was the thing. We really didn't care that we were shit. We just played. And that's what people picked up on.
Now there was opportunities so that I could actually create and record something with them, which is not what many people can say that they can do with people that they grew up with.
Like, we didn't think of us being like we were affecting people in a positive way, that it was going to be 20 years down the line, you know?
Yeah.
I think, but I mean, that's great. I think it's fucking great that O's are still playing, and watch this. I'm Paul. I've known Art for a long time. He apparently said he was a fan of lithium, but I don't believe him. Art gave me a call and asked if I'd be interested in doing this. I had no idea what it was about, but I'm always keen to play with Art, so yeah, that was it for me.
And then it was just myself and Ian, like going back and forth of who else could play with us. And then he brought up Ameer Saban, which I jammed at him before.
He's a great guy. I mean, he's just like, I almost imagine like a water, like a thing of water just flowing through him, and then he's just like, what about this? Or what about this?
He's like super game, super amped. He's always ready to go into a soccer game.
What about this? What about this? So he's like full of ideas and enthusiasm.
My name's Ameer Saban, or as the guys call me, Ameer Saban! I got started in music when I watched the movie Amadeus, and I begged my mom to take me for piano lessons. Taught myself guitar. Bought a book on how to play guitar. I attached foolscap paper onto a tennis racket, marked off where the chords needed to be. Because my mom told me I'm not getting a guitar until my matric exams are over.
I've been friends with him since like varsity, and like in his previous bands and stuff. And he just brings stuff to the table.
He came in and we're going like, dude, that's perfect.
I think that worked quite well. You were smiling when it came back in and everything. So it was a good
I'm always smiling.
You're always smiling.
You're smiling.
It was actually shit, but I was just started getting introduced to musician after musician, and now I'm here. Got a WhatsApp message to come to the coalition thing. It's cool.
I love that story.
That is incredible. Oh my god.
Natalie's name also came up, and then I was like, sweet, that's awesome.
And Natalie the same, enthusiastic. That's actually all you want.
Yeah.
I am Natalie Lucia. I was performing solo at the Songwriter Circle that Ian Watson put on like a few months ago. And Art Pereira was there, and he asked me if I'd be a part of the coalition, and I didn't even hesitate. I just said absolutely.
She's a character on her own. You know, when she's on stage, she owns that stage, and she can belt.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea when Ian said, let's get Natalie, let's give a woman like space to bring forward like energy, because everyone goes to the default setting of it's got to be a guy fucking, and when like she can do it better than anyone.
And it's taken pretty much my whole life to find people that I want to play with, and like-minded musicians and individuals and artists who also respect me and actually see like my worth. Just jumped at the opportunity to play with them because they're just such amazing people. I really appreciate the kind of people that they are and the musicians that they are.
So all of us together, it actually creates like a really cool mix.
If you're not enthusiastic, maybe you should think about why I'm not enthusiastic. Change your enthusiasm, or go and find something else that you can be enthusiastic about, you know. That's a great thing about everyone involved in the project. It's the one thing I would say that's constant.
How was the first day?
Very productive. It started a bit slowly, but you know, we wanted to get things done. We knew we had to get the bass and the drums done today, which we've achieved, and we've worked on the guitars now. Well, one guitar, and we're ready to record it tomorrow. And I'm taking out the trash.
Okay. You wanted to start or some shit? Nick, you're a great person.
I'm Nick. I'm engineering this third coalition session, pulling performances out of everyone. It's like pulling teeth, really, with a sponge.
that pattern is very weird. That like the intro pattern of the tune. We tried and we said like, okay, no, Art's struggling because it's actually very tricky to get right. If you're not playing to a click, it's fine.
Yeah.
But then you'll get like the waivers and stuff, and we want it to be, like a constant pound.
Very African style, djembe drumming, circle drumming kind of attitude. So the 5/4 timing is quite difficult to replicate on a straightforward click. So we had to get some drum patterns down.
What we ended up doing is you grabbed some clips from some beat, and then you made that rhythm, made into a track, and then we're like, okay, this is the rhythm, and instead of playing to a click, we played to that rhythm, and it helped out a lot.
I'm making a
Go to the Kill City, bro.
Out of spare parts. See, I can play drums too, bitch.
When you're jamming in a room, that energy is there. It exists. And when you start breaking it down, putting it, like recording each part separately, sometimes the magic of like the song, the essence of the song can be lost. And it can kind of seem a little bit flat or, over rehearsed.
You have the capacity to make everything perfect, so everyone does. And it fucks up your mind. Like the focus becomes
a production instead of just
what the
jamming.
fuck are you doing?
You start fucking up, you start getting quite tense and aggressive about wanting to get your shit done, so you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
You have to come prepared. You can't just rock up and hope for the best. You have to have all your voices prepared for it.
I've always believed in going, if you can't play it live, then you may as well fucking don't do it, That was fucking terrible. It's been a long time since I've been in this fucking position. I would reckon it's been 10 years since I recorded a track. That's fucking long, bro. Should we try again?
Dave Grohl and all those guys always say, it's those little mistakes in between that makes it sound natural.
That's the nuance, that's the beauty.
It makes it sound like people playing music. And that's what you want to sound. You don't want to buy an album by Pro Tools. You want to buy an album by people. The thing about recording, it's never the same. It's never like you always do things like this. If it sounds good through the speakers, it sounds good, even if it goes against the theory.
There's a way to bridge the gap, with this song, where it's not just about the song. There's something bigger. The production can aid that. It can get the message across.
Yeah, exactly. When I came in, I told you, okay, listen, I'm using the harshest symbols I've got.
Yeah.
Because this is a harsh topic.
Yeah.
So we got to get that feeling in then.
The song has an ethnic flavor, and I wanted to kind of make it about something real and local and South African without being twee. You know what I mean? And I was working late one night doing an HR course at work. I was supposed to finish at 11, and about 10 o'clock I just thought, I'm listening to the track every now and again. I just thought, I feel like I have to write something about something. So I wrote Marikana on the top of the page.
It was going to be about Nkandla, and that sort of has its own kind of comedy to it. But then he said, no, it's something much more.
And it was pretty insane. And I remember watching it on the news and going, what the hell's going on? Yeah. And it was something that all of us had, like tension in ourselves about. It's like, how can something like that happen?
And literally the words just started coming out, as they do sometimes. We've all heard those stories. And it just go, 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 go. And then as I got to the end of the song, it gets to this lament section, and then I started to imagine being a miner and just being in that position and what you had to go through. And as I was writing it, I just started crying. It just was really hectic. And I was just literally trying to get the words out as fast as possible while I still felt that emotion. Then I sent Natalie the words, and she actually also started crying when she read it.
I mean, for me, when I sing some of the parts, I feel like it's almost moving through me, like I was a witness there. I honestly feel that emotional connection to it, and something that feels that way can't be wrong.
So it was that was immediately, in my opinion, a sign, go with this. I like it.
That was a lekker one. Let's just hear it quickly.
I like a bit of personality. That's nice, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
We wanted to make something that was meaningful and that spoke to people in a way that maybe some people are a little bit too ashamed or too scared to kind of poke those fingers, you know, because once people become uncomfortable about something, you'll see like guards immediately come up.
Yeah, we were shit scared back in the day to be able to say anything. Living a privileged life back in before during apartheid, you know, you end up being hidden from the real truths about what it was like, you know, or what it is like now still, you know. And it's like 20 odd years later since apparently the change for better. And unfortunately, this whole Marikana thing becomes a HR catastrophe, and you know, where you end up just taking people's lives for granted.
They knew that this strike was going to happen. They armed their security. They encased everything in barbed wire, so they almost like locked them in there. And if some shit went down, they'd shoot, you know. And that is exactly what happened. It's almost like they set it up to happen.
No one's really thought about the process deep enough or hard enough to just actually like accept the fact that things are not good. But to cage people in and fucking shoot them down is hard.
Even though the song is about a certain thing that happened, the message about it translates to everything that's happened before and will happen in the future. Especially when your rights and your requests and your actions are left up to other people who work against you. Ian was saying, like, what if we get, like, you know, backlash? And I'm like, no, fuck that shit, man. We have to do this. And so it became like a purpose almost.
It's uncomfortable. It's not cool what happened there. It's not going to be easy to do this song, but let's do it. You know, let's say that what happened there was bullshit and it could have been avoided. Not pointing fingers at anyone,
At either
pointing
side,
fingers at everyone.
The Commission has found that it would have been impossible to disarm and disperse the strikers without significant bloodshed.
I feel as musicians, we have a responsibility to give a positive message and also to be true to who we are. I feel like with the song, we are who we are, and what we're putting forward is that people just need to think.
I feel very proud of what we're doing. And if people actually feel something that we've been feeling about it, I think we've done our job. And I just hope people give it the time of day. That would mean a lot to me.
And it's difficult to think now that all this emotion and lyrics and things, it started out with him in the car.
Just on his phone.
voice note.
Why are we?
Why are we?
It's amazing.
Kill Shitty, say? Is this still recording? Yes! Battery! Oh, I love you, Battery.